What's up, boys? Welcome back to the channel. I installed these lights a while back. I don't know if you guys remember that video. The lighting in here is just, it's so good. Like, after I graduate college, like wherever I move to, I don't know what's gonna happen, but these lights are coming with because I just love the way it looks in here. I know it's not for everybody. Some people kind of prefer like a more yellow warm light, but to me, this is just focus. I feel like when I step into the garage, I can actually put my head to something. Anyways, guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Kaidan. This video is kind of off to a weird start. I've been out in the garage for a while, just sort of cleaning things because tomorrow we're finally pulling the 944 into here. It's time to begin prep for the engine swap. So I've just kind of been clearing a space. Obviously we can't pull the car all the way in because I've got like the engine hoist and a bunch of stuff going on over here, but we don't need the car all the way in just to get the trans out because it's a transaxle and it's in the back, so that's pretty nice. While I was cleaning though, I noticed that my jack is having an issue. As you can see here, this valve is stuck down. I'm gonna try to fix that real quick and then I'm gonna go to sleep because it is currently like, oh god, yeah, it's almost 2:30, but I need this jack to be working, so I'm gonna try to fix that real quick before I go to bed. Come on. It's like it wants to work, but it's struggling for some reason. There we go. Much better. Now let's stay that way. Can't have you fail on me now. Of all times to do that, you picked the worst. Anyway, I'm glad that was a simple fix, but it is way too late to be working on stuff right now, and Ryan is gonna be here in about 8 hours, so I gotta make sure I sleep at least a little bit, because tomorrow's gonna be a long day. So anyway, I'll pick up the camera after I get some sleep.
The next day.
Lying bastard.
What do you mean?
That was more than 5 minutes.
Oh my
I
gosh.
promised you don't shower like a woman.
Okay, but the shower itself was only like 5.
Okay.
Anyway,
and
welcome back.
then you spent how long blow drying your hair?
I don't know, like 30 seconds? As usual, Ryan giving me shit for everything I do, because he's just jealous. Just jealous of, I don't even know what he'd be jealous of, to be honest. Anyway, it's the next day. I slept like a baby. So the game plan for today is to, well, first we need to push the Mustang forward. And yes, we have to push it because it has a dead battery. Like a dead battery that won't charge.
I came down here, why?
Well, it's on a flat surface, so we can assume frictionless because it has wheel bearings, so it shouldn't be too bad once we get some momentum.
Shut the fuck up.
And then we have to back the 944 down into the street, flip it around. There's also no steering, so we have to turn the wheels by hand. And once we do that, then we can pull it into the garage because the transmission's in the back, so we got to get it in here backwards. Aren't you so excited? Alright guys, so we just got the car up on the jack stand, so we're gonna climb under there and have a look. I've never pulled the transmission out of this car. I watched a video about it like 2 years ago, but this is obviously not a tutorial because I don't know what the heck I'm doing. We're just gonna have to figure it out.
And I volunteered for this, mister. I watched a YouTube video 2 years ago. Okay,
Yeah.
let's get this started.
Why don't you just trust me?
The BRZ is a little cleaner on the underside.
Oh, surprisingly.
Surprisingly.
You thought this would be cleaner than your BRZ?
Yeah, something like that.
Alright, so, well, there's a transmission here.
Good fucking job. So the transmission's a transmission.
Okay, we're gonna have to get a light. I can't see.
Give me your phone.
Ah, that's a little better. So you can see the axle right there. We're gonna have to bolt both of those. And then there's some bell housing bolts on the front. This car has 2 bell housings because it's awesome. And then there should be a linkage inside of there that we'll have to remove, and then the whole thing will drop down on our faces. Yay. Alright, so the axles use a some sort of hex bit. I'm gonna have to figure out what size they are. I think that's the best place to start, unless you got a better idea.
No, oh, good God. No, I could be here all day for just that.
There's so much grime in here that like,
What? Grime on the outdoor car? No.
this thing was driving around before I was born, bro. And I have triple squares, so I guess triple squares were used in the 80s. Learn a little bit every day. There was so much grime in these bolts that I thought that they were Allen's. We should remove the exhaust, or what's left of it.
We're gonna have to remove the exhaust of the engine anyway.
Dude, look at where the pipe goes. It just ends like right there.
Yeah, I don't.
We've only got the axle back.
I see now. Okay. This concrete floor is not doing my joints any favors.
Yeah, well, welcome to my life for the last few years. Alright, so up under the car right here, if you look up in this area, you can see this little input. I had to watch a video again because I couldn't figure out what to do next. So there's this little rubber boot that I've slid off of here, and then there's a yellow bolt and a little wire. So I actually have to cut that wire and then loosen the bolt. It seems so strange, but that's how you do it, I guess. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and cut that, remove it, and then we'll actually go inside the car for the next step. Okay, so I was having a hard time showing it under the car, but I think this is pretty neat, so I want to go ahead and show you guys. This bolt actually has a hole that goes through the head of it, and then this wire goes through it as like a safety clip, I guess. So you have to just cut the wire, and then that allows you to just loosen this bolt and pull it off the car. So now that the shifter linkage is disconnected on the transmission side, we gotta hop into the car and you know, whatever, disconnect it up there. So let me just, oh wow, that was way easier than the one in the video. So apparently I have to reach down into this sarlacc of a shifter boot area, and I'm sorry. The German man never lies. Don't reverse. Oh god. Don't reverse it. There we go. Nice. Alright, then he said to rotate that 90 degrees, so I think that's all we have to do because this has been unbolted. There's so much foam in here. What is happening? There we go.
Noise deadening.
Okay, I had to refer back to the video, but I figured out what we have to do with this tube. So basically, tube, metal, shaft. I figured out how to handle the shaft. Since this car is a transaxle, when you pull the shift lever, you don't have your input going to the front, it sends it to the back. So what happens is this long bar goes from here all the way into the transmission, and I can tell by wiggling this that it's moving around where I disconnected the shifter, like with the bolt that I showed you guys earlier. So what we have to do is push this down into the insulation up here, and I have to push it forward because by doing that, I'm pushing the bar out of the transmission. I don't know if you guys can tell, but obviously the point of that bar is no longer here because I've pushed it forward. So we're back under the car. It's a little hard to see, but you have the input shaft from the torque tube, and then that bar right up there is the shifter bar. All right, so I actually just came up here and I flipped the bar over so that way the curved part would go down, and then I just pushed it forward all the way. I didn't have to push it this far, but just to give you guys an idea, this is the piece that's supposed to come out of the transmission, so I pushed it all the way up here just so that way I could show it to you because it's a little hard to show back there. Then we have to remove the bell housing bolts and drop the transmission down, so.
Hopefully not onto our faces.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I've decided that we are going to go buy a transmission jack. We were originally going to try to do it the sketchy way with 2 jacks and a piece of plywood or whatever, but I just don't want to, and I have the money to buy it because I just got paid from YouTube. So shout out to you guys because you guys watching the videos means that I get to go get the tools that I need to do this project. So we're gonna go buy that real quick. I don't want to hear any more hate about the Protege.
I didn't say shit. Not a word.
You were thinking it. You're walking up to this like
I'm tired. I've been lying on concrete for what, 3 hours now?
What time is it?
3.
It's 3?
It's 3:20.
Okay, we gotta get going. Yeah, we're gonna have to breaker bar it. It sucks. I got it. Look at this relic. Whoa! It just. Bye bye. Alright, so we got the transmission completely disconnected. It's on its way out. However, it's a tall boy. yeah, it doesn't quite clear, so we're gonna need to raise the car up a bit to get it out of here. No big deal, but we'll just do that real quick and we'll be right back. Alright, so that was sort of an abrupt transition. I didn't actually end up picking up the camera after what you guys just watched because Ryan ended up leaving like right after that and we were both kind of pooped. So it's a couple days later now. Obviously the transmission is no longer back there. The car is back off the jack stand, sitting nicely here inside the garage. I wasn't able to give you guys a good visual of this, but I think it's pretty interesting. So just real quick, like this is the coupling connector that couples the transmission to the torque tube. I think it's pretty cool. I don't know. As an engineer, I'm like always really interested in this sort of stuff because I think it's really interesting how you can connect rotating things with square connectors and just like weird stuff like that. But this basically just had bolts on both sides, obviously, that clamp it down. And then once you unbolt them, you just slide it back and then you can just remove the transmission. So pretty clever solution to a kind of strange problem that this car creates being a transaxle. I have some rather bad news for you guys though. So I come outside today, I took a look at the Mustang and I saw there was a little slip of paper underneath the windshield wiper. So I actually got a parking ticket for having my car sitting like this. I'm not going to disagree that technically the car is facing the wrong way, like the driver's side is towards the curb, which you're not supposed to do, at least in the state of Oregon. And I could see how like if this was a really busy road, then that could cause some issues because if I was going to like drive this car out, you know, it's just oncoming traffic. I get it, right? I understand why the law exists. However, this car is very obviously not roadworthy and it's been sitting here for a really long time. And what's even funnier to me is that it was blocking the driveway for a while because if you guys remember, I had the 944 in the driveway. That car couldn't drive, so I just parked this directly behind it. I'm obviously not I don't know. To me, it seems like kind of a waste of time, but I think it's funny that the moment I move it from blocking the driveway just to a regular parking spot, I get a ticket, even though it was already in a worse position. Like, what? And like I said, fair is fair. I guess one could make an argument that technically this car is broken down because the battery is completely dead. And then if you were to make that argument, you could say, like, since it's broken down, the law doesn't apply because, like, the Oregon driving handbook or whatever states that, like, if your car is broken down, the parking rules don't always apply as long as your hazard lights are on. There's probably some gray area there because the battery is completely dead, so obviously the hazard lights aren't going to light up. But yeah, that just all in all pretty annoying. I also recognize the name of the officer who signed the ticket. It's the same officer that pulled me over one time about a year ago because I didn't have the front license plate on the car. They pulled me over and then instead of pulling over immediately into the bike lane, I pulled into a parking lot that was like 5 seconds away. And they yelled at me for not pulling over immediately, saying that like I was trying to evade the cops or something. And I just gave this dude like the nastiest look because it's just like, why are you power tripping, bro? Like, is the ticket just for your own job security? Like, I don't even know. But the fact that this officer has now ticketed me right in front of my own house, just, you know, that's like salt in the wound. I'll let him have it. I'm going to pay the parking ticket. It's obviously my fault because I'm parked incorrectly, you know, like I'm a menace to society, as you guys can tell. But yeah, just thought I would tell you guys about that. Make sure you park your car the right way because guess I'm just gonna have to learn that lesson the hard way. Other than that slight inconvenience though, things are going pretty well. An extremely important package was delivered to the house today, so I'm actually gonna have to wrap this video up here. I don't have much else to say or do. I just want to start working on the next upload. If you've been watching for a while, you know exactly what it is, or even like watching this video would probably tell you what happened, but either way, I got some stuff coming pretty soon. So if you like today's video, make sure to leave a like down below. Stay hyped for the next content because I'm really excited. Like the next thumbnail, I can just already envision it. The next video is gonna be awesome. So hope you guys are looking forward to more content, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out and dream big.